you give me a thumbs up that you can see me and hear me? Fabulous. Thank you ever so much. Lovely to have you all here. This is Lisa Ware, senior group leader and an awful long time in this business. It's well over 2 decades. Okay. So today is all about what I consider as the fundamentals of this business. Okay. It's that we are out to help people in their homes. There's a wretched economy. We won't go into that huge debacle. All right. Things are going up. The only thing coming down is rain, although we've got some glorious sunshine at the moment. And I'm going to take the stance that not everybody that we know, that we love and care about, fascinatingly, is as interested as we are to reduce their bills for them. Would that be a good statement to make? Yeah. I can see the very wry smiles. Okay. Um, they're not always that interested. And I'm going to say to you, you might like to write some of this down. Okay. Sometimes it's the big one, apathy. And I think it's because people view bills, services as boring. And not just boring, I think they actually view it as, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Oh, that's a horrible subject. Oh, it reminds me just how much I'm paying. And other things that come in their mind is, oh, well, better to stay with the devil you know than the devil you don't. And there's many other reasons why people avoid us. Some of them we are so unaware of, it's not true. And it can be that they can be in debt. And this could be something that they'd rather not approach. Okay. We don't know that. They'll never tell us. Okay. Some will, but many won't. And it's a bit too close to the nerve. Yeah. So you've got to build sort of base that's some of the things that can happen. Now, look, over time, some of those skeptics, and I will tell you that one of them was my parents. 2 years it took. I'm sorry for you new people to hear 2 years, I know, but it happened eventually. Okay. Now, I will share with you that virtually everyone that I interact with in terms of family, friends, generally speaking, is using UW, but there is one person who, Gemma, you're as old in this business nearly as myself. My dear sister is still not a customer, all right, and she won't be, okay, and that's fine with me. It's her loss, okay. So if we can accept that, then we've got to say, well, maybe we've got to reach out. And there are many ways we do. Listen, guys, I'm not going into the realms of, but you know, things like neighbour letters, that's a subject for another day, but it's very popular and some people have some tremendous success. Okay, they really do. And I think there's a lot of personality in it, but I also think if you're diligently, you treat it as a business in itself and you follow the system, you will get results because I do know, am I allowed to say this, some very mundane, boring people that do well out of it. All right, I do know them. Okay. There are all sorts of things you can do. You can do 20K giveaways, all right? And that's where we do meet strangers. Is that not true? Sometimes some people do meet their friends and it can be a prompter, but we're talking about how to get strangers to be our possible customers. And of course, there is everyday living just out and about. Now, I can reel off various scenarios, as you all know, when I'm in and around. In fact, I think one of my best places for getting possible strangers is when I'm actually interacting with them on a sort of a buying selling basis. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm on about I might be buying something that they're selling. So it could be a shop, a store holder. Okay. Um, I do find the queue at Tesco's and Sainsbury's fascinating. I just love seeing all those glorious happy faces around, don't you? It's just stunning, isn't it? Sorry, I am being sarcastic. Right, but I'm going to share somebody that I believe is absolutely fantastic at this. I'm going to third party and I'm going to share with you a video that, in fact, I did send out. So, without further ado, I hope it plays well where you are and your Zoom is up to it. So let's. Can, can you see? Um, can you see Claire Hingot, everybody? Yeah? Okay. I hope you can because I can't see you at the moment. Could you give us a thumbs up if you can see Claire? Thank you so much. So I'm doing this kind of blind. Right, get ready because she's not a wailing wallflower. She's brilliant. Here we go. Are you ready?
Hi everyone, last day of the summer holidays here. We've been to the cinema and I was in the queue and a lovely lady behind me just started talking to me, asking me what film I was going to see. And she said that she comes to the cinema about twice a week. She cares for an older boy and he loves going to the cinema. She's his carer. And I said, oh, you come to the cinema a lot? It was Odeon Cinema. So I said, have you got one of these cards? And I showed her my cashback card. She said, no, what's that? Opened up a conversation. I said, well, have you heard of UW? She said, no. I said, oh, they're amazing. I said, they're Britain's best kept secret. We've been around for 30 years. We're a proper multi-award winning British company. Have you heard of Ben Fogle? Yes, she said, I love Ben Fogle. I said, guess what? He's an ambassador of ours. He's a customer. I told her we save people money on their bills, and by using this card in places like this, the cinema, I said, for buying my cinema tickets today, I'll get 5% cash back on whatever I spend here off my next month's bill. She went, wow, my God, how does that work? And I said, well, that's not the only stores. So we've got over 50 stores, you know, IKEA, Boots, Sainsbury's. Got myself an appointment. 3 weeks ago, I was sat just there having an ice cream with Ava. And I was sat next to an elderly lady who used to be a businesswoman and who did network marketing back in the 90s. So fabulous lady. Told her what I did. Last week, I had an appointment with that lady. It resulted in her getting over £1,000 refund with OVO. I sorted out a load of mess for her with them. I was there for about 3 hours. Homeowner took 3 services and she's given me 7 referrals already from sitting there and having a chat with an old lady. And today, down the road there in the cinema, just talking to someone. Opportunities present themselves every single day if you're alert. 2 ears, 1 mouth. If you step into them. It would have been easy for me today with a lady in the cinema, not to mention UW, not to talk about the cashback card, but there's a lady who comes to the cinema twice a week at least. She said she's film mad. So in this one shopping place in the last 2 weeks, I've got myself 2 appointments. One's already a customer and possibly this lady today. Easy conversation, just be friendly and help people. Tell people what you do and tell people how you help people save on the boring old bills. Hope that helps. Let us know if you have any meaningful conversations that turn into great results and happy stories. And don't forget, see you on Saturday. BMW's biggest event of the year is going to be awesome. Hi, everyone.
Did you hear that? Is she brilliant? Brilliant? Right. This is the stuff I do. And Claire and I, many years ago, she was a special guest at one of my used to be in class trainings. Okay, she was a special guest who used to come when I used to do it every month. I know Stephen Val did, didn't you? Yeah. Well, every month I used to do it in class, and Claire was one of my guests, and she and I over dinner. I took her to dinner and I picked her brains, and she turned round to me and said, but Lisa, I wanted to pick your brains. And I said, well, you can pick mine another day. But what we had in common was this enthusiasm for what we do. Now, if you she will say this much more eloquently than me. If your mouth is closed, your shop is closed. But take on board two ears, one mouth, because Alan P says questions are the answers. Now, why did I just play that? Because I know that scenarios like that come up for all of us. And some days I'm just not in the mood. But I'm going to share, I've been legging it back from Lyme Regis, okay, on a supported appointment. And I needed some fuel. And I thought, ideal, Weymouth on the way, stop, Sainsbury's, fill up the car. Okay. So I'm in a rush. Um, and I'm sharing this because it is absolutely true and it will help you. So I fill up the car and I rush in there, and she said to me, "Do you have a Nectar card? I bet you get this." I said, "Yes, I do. I like my Nectar points." Then I said, "But I like this one better." And she said, "Oh, what's that one?" I said, "This is my UW cashback card." And I said, "It doesn't just give me 3% back here in your store and at fuel. It gives me money off everywhere up to 10%. I said, "That money I get back has eliminated the cost of my phone and broadband and an unlimited data mobile. How cool is that? I've never paid for them." What do you think she said? "Wow, how'd you get one of those?" I said, "Well, I haven't really got the time at the moment." I said, "It is your lucky day." I said, "I'll tell you what." So I get my phone out and I said, "Just give me your name and number and I promise I'll give you a call or send you some info." She said, "You will, won't you?" I said, "Yeah." And she gave me it. Then the woman next door said, "Oh, would you take my name and number too?" So I did. Now, that's two people for me to follow up. I could have just thought, nah, I can't be bothered. No, keep my mouth shut. But do you know what? That wasn't difficult. Who's got a Nectar card? Got a Tesco card? Could you do that? All you got to do is say, "Yeah, I've got one of these. It's great, but this one's better." All right. Have I given you an award-winning line? Right. So that's a little idea, all right? But this is a big subject. And what I really wanted to get onto is that's a little hint about strangers to prospects, okay? There's so much, it's huge. We could go on about it for ages. But how about prospects to appointments? Now, this is the thing, isn't it? So, Claire was in a situation where she rung up the person. Yeah. Now I've got two numbers and two names. I'm gonna have a poll. Who thinks that I'll send some videos, UW stories? Hands up if you think. Okay. Hands up if you think I'm going to send a WhatsApp message following up from. Who thinks I'm going to make a phone call? Yes. Right. This business is a relationship building business. You don't build relationships sending texts or WhatsApps or emails. It's like making a statement to tell everyone, "Can you be here at 4:30 for a Zoom?" Some will not even bother to read it. True? Yeah, we know. Some might read it a week later. Some might never read it at all. Okay. So you can't build a relationship by messaging. Now, I know there are people that build relationships through dating apps by messaging, but I promise you, there comes a point when you do have to meet. All right. It's a great analogy. Okay. It really is. You've got to pick up that phone and talk to somebody. And that's the way you can build rapport. So I will be phoning these people. All right. I will be phoning them. Okay. And if it gets a bit too late tonight, because anything, to be honest, after 7:38 is a bit antisocial, it's not business, and I'm going to be supporting someone. So it's unlikely I'm going to be doing tonight, but I will be following up immediately tomorrow. Okay. Now, so let's say you've been at a 20K and you've built some rapport. Are you all aware that's the whole point of 20Ks is you actually get a chance to meet strangers. And it is there that you make the rapport. Yeah. But you've got to continue the rapport. So getting getting their details down is a perfunctory thing. You do it. But what people don't realize, it's the little chit chat, the stuff that you take an interest in them. Who says be interested, not interesting? Yeah. And I can see some of the old timers here realizing what I'm on about. Because do you know who the most interesting person is in your life? You. It's them. So if we only talk about us, it ain't going to help them. We've got to, in that short space of time, kind of glean a few things that shows we're interested. If we're interested, it shows we care. And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay. This is all about rapport building. So you've really got to get that. Now, the point at which you're making the appointment, and let me say to you, this is fundamental. Don't be one of those people that kind of opens a diary and it looks absolutely empty. Oh, God, now you look desperate, don't you? Yeah, no, hide it. All right, I do hide it. And even if you haven't got any appointments, then you know what you could do? You could pencil some bits in your diary because they could be rubbed out and only you know that they're not real. No, no, I'm giving you ideas here. This is the stuff that I used to do, okay? Because you want to look busy, busy making lots of appointments. Here's a saying you can say to them as you get to the let's meet, right, let me grab my diary. This is what I usually say. Now, look, I'm very busy. All I'm doing today is I've been making loads of appointments with people that are really serious and keen about better quality services, simpler billing, and always paying less, not saving money. Every company talks about saving money. No, no, no. Better quality services, simpler billing, incredible, stunning customer service, one to one. And obviously, you could say the best value, of course. Yeah. And you might have pointed things out like which articles and stuff like that. And then you say to them, right now, um, let me just, do you work during the day? You know, if they're, oh, if they're of a certain age and hair, they probably aren't, but I do meet a lot of very, very busy retired people too. And I find that that some of them, when they get retired, they're busier than they were before because they're filling it up with things that they want to do, not what they don't want to do. All right. So it's get that idea because we're doing something called the alternative close. So if they say, oh, I work during the day, say, oh, right, okay, so possibly this is going to be an evening or maybe at a weekend. Yeah. And I always say, well, if it's an evening, I really like to do it kind of after dinner time. That's, yeah, my preference. Okay. Um, and then you're going to pin it down to a day. Then you're going to pin it down to a time. Yeah. So it's better to say, oh, I'm looking at my diary here. Now, Thursday and Friday evening at the moment is okay. I have got someone else has asked me, but they're waiting to hear back. I made that bit up. Yeah. So Thursday or Friday any good? And you're giving them a choice because people like choices. This is the bit you mustn't shortchange, the consolidation. All right. If I went to them, oh, are you free any time the rest of this week? You can be sure as eggs, they'll go, no, I'm busy. If I said, have you got any time next week? They'll go, no, I'm busy. Yeah. But if I said, oh, I'm looking at next week, and at the moment I can do Wednesday or Thursday evening, is that any good to you? Now, what that does is it engages their brain and they think, oh, I've got to think. Thursday or Friday. Now, if they have got a brain, they possibly go to the calendar on their phone or maybe a little diary or something. Now, some of them will go, oh, I haven't got my diary with me. I've got my calendar. Do you ever get that? I do. I say, yeah, I do. Are you waiting for this one? Okay, I know you haven't got your calendar, so let me just ask you, when is the very best time that I can call you and you'll definitely be in? And they say, oh, Thursday evening. And I say, great, let's make the appointment for then, because you're in. Have you caught them out? No, it's not naughty, it's real. It's just that their brains don't think the way that they should think. All right. So there you are. Now, here's the bit where you consolidate. You still haven't got that appointment, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, 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 no. You got to now go, right, okay, so Thursday, that is the 25th. So is that 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? Give them an option again, or maybe 7:30 or 8:30. I don't like going later than that because everybody's shattered after that. Yeah. Okay. Then you say to them, all right, now look, we've put this down for 7 o'clock Thursday. Now think really hard. Are you sure there's nothing that can get in the way? Because the thing is, you see, I'm giving this time up, and this is what you can say, folks. I'm giving this time up, and do you know what? Probably like you, I'm pulled every way. I've got team that might need me for supporting, and there's lots of them. I've got three daughters, three grandsons. It's a busy old life, isn't it? So we've got to make sure that we get this right. Now, there's no harm in saying that, because say, our time, isn't it the most valuable commodity that we've got? Say it to them, our, say our. So it's sharing it with them. Isn't it the most valuable commodity that we've got? Well, do you know what? We want to make sure we get this right because I don't want to let you down. And I know you wouldn't want to let me down. Oh, now you've got them, haven't you? Yes. I don't want to let you down, and I'm sure you don't want to let me down. Because, and here's the clincher, when I come to see you, by the time I walk out that door, or if it's on Zoom, do you know what? Most people give me a hug. They're so over the moon with what they see is a completely different thing altogether. Now, what you're doing is you're setting the scene of something wonderful that they don't want to miss. Because if you're very flippant about this, making the appointment, oh, it doesn't matter, uh, then if it doesn't matter, they can easily cancel it. So you've got to make it that it's special because your time is important. Yeah. And if you're getting lots and lots of people that are not following through, in essence, of course there'll be some that's genuine, but in essence, it's generally that, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Oh, God, it was only those boring bills. I don't want to really deal with that. Yeah, is that not true? Yeah. So that's called consolidating the appointment. Now, how are we doing? We're nearly there. I feel the next bit, which is appointments to customers, I'm going to do the start of it and I'm going to continue it next week. I think I can. Yeah, I can still do it next week. Yeah. Right. Let's share my screen because I want to show you stuff. Okay. I can see Roz and I can see Roderick. Can you put your finger up? If sorry, thumb up if you can see my screen. Thank you. Right. So you've got an appointment. Now, what you want to do is you want to do a bit of pre-appointment care. So the very first thing, and somebody asked about all this, I will send it out again. I'll send my sheets out. All right. Um, you want to check out if you're traveling where they are. So whatever happens, every institution, especially financial like we are, they all run off the Royal Mail. So first thing you want to do is have it saved in your favourites, postcode finder, Royal Mail. Now I'm going to do it on me because of GDPR. I can't do it on somebody, all right? So I'm going to do it on me. DT119AJ. Okay, and up comes a load of addresses. Now, believe it or not, we are actually number 4. That's what was the plot, but we're not really because we've been named. And here I am, Rosemary Cottage. That is the official address that all companies will work to. Now, the appointment we went to today, last night, I asked for the address. I got given the name of a property, like mine's Rosemary Cottage. When I went on Royal Mail, I couldn't find it. So I went back to the lady and said, actually, I think there's a number of this place. Otherwise, it's a different postcode. And hey ho, it was never registered with Royal Mail, the name of the place. It actually turned out to be a number. It was a number of a road, and then it was listed. So please do this because this saves you time. Now, there's something else you can do. Can you see this postcode? If you click on it and scroll up, I've got to move you guys out the way, sorry. Now here you've got a magnify and a demagnify. And if you go in, right, now I'm going to show you this because this is also relevant for you all. I want you to see something here. It's got a property. Now, I'm going to tell you this, right? That isn't us at all. It's not us. That is a business called Blandford Machinery across the lane, a tiny little track that goes to a farm. This is, where are we? This is us here. That's us. That's a private car park that we share, okay, with these people here. Yeah. I think no. Sorry. This is us here. This one. That's a public footpath. This is a huge private car park. And this is a little lane. And that's Blandford Machinery. So, you see, the postcode actually covers a big area. And you need to know where things are. So the next thing I do is pick up a new tab. I think you can see all this. Notice that Google Maps is one of my favourites. Now, what you do is in here, you put the address that Royal Mail gave you. So I'm putting in here, Birch Close, Charlton Marshall, Blandford, Bora, DT119AJ. Okay. And if you notice, right, it don't come up, does it? But that does. The postcode. Now, it's massive. That's what I want to show you. See, it's absolutely massive. And Thornicombe is actually quite away from us. And Charlton on the Hill is here, but we're here. So I'm going to show you what you can do. So I'm going to magnify that Blandford Garden Machinery. Okay, now this is us here. And now I click on it. I'm showing you this because it's really important. Oh, hey ho, look at this. This is us. Oh, look, there's me. That's where I sell eggs. Right. So now, can I say it does look neater than that at the moment? Right. What I want to say is, I now can see my property. Now, why am I telling you this? Because when I'm going to see people, I zoom in and I can get to read names of things or see numbers. All right. You can also, as I say jokingly, make sure there's no mattresses in the garden. All right. But also, it means on Google, I could press that and it will tell me how long it will take me to get there and the shortest and most easy distance. This stuff is really important. It gets rid of stuff. Okay, now the next thing I do while we're here, can you see this? Money supermarket. So I click on here, your address, because I've been doing loads of these. All right, change address because now I put in mine. Here we go. DT119AJ. Click find address. And let's find Rosemary Cottage. There we go. There we are. Now, I'm going to click Just Electric. Oh, I'm so glad to see that. It's Utility Warehouse. Let's see the results. And do you know what? It's pretty spot on. There we go. Tells me 2569, which I know is right. It's telling me how much and what I'm paying. How cool is that? So I've already got where I'm going, how long it'll take. I've already got the cost and who the person's currently playing with. If they've got gas and electric, guys, on Money Supermarket, click just gas first, and it will give you the consumption and the amount. Then edit the energy and click then just electric, and you'll get the individuals. All right. That really, really helps because that's better than guessing small, medium, or high user. But I tell you what, it really does help you fill in on a few things because you already know a few bits. Now, the other thing to do, and I don't have to show you this, I'm sure, is I'm sorry, but my planner doesn't actually work for me. It's not detailed enough. So I do a pre-appointment join the club, uw.co.uk/join. And I will put the prospects details in and I'll do have a look and see what we are going to charge for gas and electric. Oh, you start to feel that much more confident when you go on the thing. Also, you find out that the real speeds that are available. That also helps. And all this builds your confidence before you've even gone through the door. Yeah, because you've got a good idea of what's coming. So there is lots more, all right, that we can do. But I want to highlight something that Claire said, and I think it's a fabulous phrase. We are Britain's best kept secret because we actually don't do the usual TV and all that stuff, do we? Yeah, we don't do all of that. And do you notice what she did? I'm going to stop the share here. Oh no, sorry, I'm doing silly things. Come back, come back. I'd like you to unmute yourself because I know there'll be a couple of questions. But what I'd like to say is that we are the USP. We are.
Unique.
Yeah, yeah.
All the difference because um, we get literally go the extra mile, all right, at times, but we do stuff that others don't do. And I think the more that you can converse with someone, the more you can ask questions of someone when you first meet them. If it was impromptu, like Claire showed there, you know, bothering to ask questions shows that you're actually genuinely interested and you care. And people will pick that up. And all of a sudden it'll be, this is a bit different, a little bit different. And I said to this couple today, I did a Zoom appointment on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. with a new partner. And this person that was in front of us lived right up in Bridgewater. There was no way I was going to Bridgewater for 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So, nah. And the new partner, she lived down in Bedminster. So we were all a distance. And I might have sent this out. She sold it to him that she was in a training phase, 100% true, and that there are 6 appointments she has to do in order to complete a training to be able to go it alone. And would he be a human guinea pig? And that's how she got it. And I told her to say that. I said, will you base it on how much he can help you? Because if he's a friend, he'll do more because of the emotion of feeling that he'd rather help you than the whole feeling of what it could do for him. Because everyone in the past has always told him, I can save you money. But what my new partner, Leslie, what I said to her was, you're going to see, I'm not going to emphasis on money. We're going to emphasis on everything that makes us unique, us, people, quality of the services. And that's what happened. And he turned round through it and said, I have never, ever bothered to leave BT, even though I don't like them. I don't like their call centre where it's based in the other part of the world. I don't like the fact that you can never speak to anyone you can understand. He said, I don't like the fact that I'm now paying over £62 a month. And he said, but I've stuck with them because I just knew that if I dared risk changing, it would all go wrong. And he said, it's gone wrong when I've tried it before. But he said, I'm hearing that there's human beings here. And that was the reason that he entertained it, also because it was helping his friend. But we actually saved him a lot of money. And already he sent me the picture of the SIM card. Yeah, and that's going to be dealt with. I'm going to do his pack codes, send all that off. I'm dealing with stuff that is all sorts of extra things that no one else has bothered. Now, if you don't take on board that we are the added value, then you will keep changing yourself. And the more you ask questions of those people to show that you're finding out so you can best help them, then they realize that when you put everything in the mix on the Join the Club site, you put the whole thing in to start with and you customize and review, they realize it's a genuine thing because we want to show them what are the best possible prices available.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because remember, if they take 4 services, how much money are they going to get as a bonus welcome into their cashback card account? How much?
150.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Free money that you don't pay tax and insurance on. That's like 190 quid. Flipping heck. I never got that. How nice is that, eh? So we've got to really do our stuff. So hopefully that stuff is helping. Has anyone got a question specifically about the topic today? As opposed, yes, go on, Lindsay.
Two comments. One about money supermarkets. Thanks for the tip about doing separate gas and electricity because I've always been doing together and then having to guess. So that is a very useful tip. The second thing is the point you made about rapport and stuff, because one question is people can ask is, why should I do utility west? I can just find out the best deals online. But so I'm just always wondering, what value do we as distributors add to the process as opposed to what they could find out for themselves?
Thank you, Lindsay. And I'm going to add something further there because you've just reminded me. You know, when we get a referral, a homeowner referral that takes, say, 2 services, as well as the person that referred gets £50 off their bill, as long only if it goes through a partner, the new person will get £50 off their bill. If they try and um, eradicate us and go direct to head office or try to do it clever online, they won't get £50 extra off their bill. All right, so there you are. Even the company is putting the value in us because they know when people sit in front of us and we talk to them and we ask questions, that's how we get multi-services. That's why they actually really want us to do this because when they get those calls direct up there, do you know most of them only take gas and electric? And as quick as they come on, they'll be just as quick to leave. Yes, Fran.
What happens if they take, for some reason or not, they don't do it with you there and then, but you've sent them a link, your own link? What if they join through your own link? Do they still get their £50?
You're about on the referral here, aren't you?
Yeah,
Do you know, I can't believe she hasn't remembered it's the coaching. um, right, yes, they do, providing it's gone through the link because it's for you.
yeah.
It's your
But why
link.
would you send a link to a referrer? You
Never
speak
will.
to them first.
I
That,
never mention it to anyone. I ask them that they come to me. And
yeah.
I give them like Ben Fogle cards that they can give
Mm,
to people and say, look, this is the lady that's helped me. And also
good.
put the emphasis that what they're doing is they are genuinely helping their friends or family by referring them to us. They're helping because without them as the link, it doesn't happen. So I
Mm,
always say, who would you like to help in your family and friends? Help them that they'd like to see their bills reduced with much better quality services and far, far better customer service. I think the biggest one to say to you, and then I'm going to end it here, is a couple that I went to, they turned round and said, it's been amazing, all the different things that you've done. And when I came away the first visit to them, the lady that referred an existing customer turned round and said, oh, Kathy and Jasper were so delighted. They've decided they're going to take us out to lunch on the referral fee because they're that happy. And that's when you know that the whole referral thing, that's how it works, isn't it? Yeah.
mm.
Guys, I'm going to leave it there and we're going to talk much more about appointments to customers next week. All right. And the whole process of doing that appointment. So see you same time, same place next week. Lots of love. Bye bye.
Bye.